All right. Buenos dias, Benlos Nation. Okay, guys, so figured I'd come on here and do some follow-up questions because it was a wonderful week. Balance protocol, Enviro. Discount for you guys is winding up today. And so I figured that I would jump on here real quick and cover some topics. Just as some follow-ups to questions of the week. So I really enjoyed doing that because this way it helps you guys get some context that happens in the threads in the group. Okay, so without further ado, one of the things is when people pose questions, I'm doing it on the fly. So in other words, generally it's in between training other clinicians in the preceptorship program or seeing patients from around the world in various time zones. Or sometimes it's actually on my phone while I'm out and about, as my Canadian students say. Anyways, it's just in the garage. These Canadians, you guys crack me up. You know who you are. You know who you are. So anyways, and I answer based upon the question. If it's a short question, I will give a short answer. Okay? And then, of course, sometimes it goes off the rails because context wasn't given. You know we're famous for that. Okay? So anyways, if you ever want clarity, just continue to ask questions. Okay? That's what I'm here to do. So it's a lot of fun. Okay? So one of the very active, high engaging, if you will, threads of the week was a question. I'm going to read it to you here. We'll show this. We'll zoom in and get it on. Okay. So let me zoom. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay, so the question was, are vitamin C high dose IVs really worth it? Okay, so that was the posed question by a conversation starter, Alex Griffey, really cool dude. So that was the question, all right? So my reply is generally going to happen right away, okay? And so what I did is I said, nope, okay? So that was it, because what was the question? Again, it was, are vitamin C high-dose IVs really worth it? Okay, well, let's just break down the question. Okay, number one, vitamin C, well, as defined by what? There's a big range of definition of vitamin C. Okay, L-ascorbic acid, sodium ascorbate, zinc ascorbate, magnesium ascorbate, calcium ascorbate. Okay. Then you got, okay, well, you got the liposomal stuff we'll talk about in just a second. We're talking about, there's all kinds. And then there's natural forms of C and things like that. But because we were talking about IVs, I went ahead and assumed that it was good old-fashioned L-ascorbic. Okay? And then the question was is it really worth it? Well, worth what? Worth is in the eye of the beholder. Do I think a $350,000 Bentley Continental GT is worth it? Absolutely not. It's a depreciating asset. Would I like to own one? Sure. Would it be a completely ridiculously stupid waste of money? Yes, but do people still do it? So is it worth it? Okay. So anyways, that's the context of that, right? So the preceding things were, of course, we had some dialogue from, one of the ladies I absolutely love and cherish, Dr. Suzanne Humphreys. She is who I abdicate all of my vaccine information to. She's got major skin in the game. Plus, she's knowledgeable. Plus, she's classy. Kind of cute. Don't tell her I said that. But fellow lover of animals, all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so the thing is yes, IVC has some clinical utility. Here's the thing, though. I know and we're always going to come back to this. You guys are going to get sick of it, but I don't care, okay? It's dynamically contextual. And I'm going to show you another thread here on another group here that I use that term, and, one of the common people on there that I'm going to use an example here. It's going to be kind of funny for you guys. So anyways, here's the deal. It has clinical utility. There's a lot of great places for that. as per one of the protocols that I only teach and wield with balanced protocol practitioners, is my ascorbate calibration technique. Okay, been doing it for decades. Okay, a lot of people have imitated it and bit off of it and that kind of fun stuff. I have a different approach. Anyways, without getting into all that, I use it. Okay, then of course there's people like Doris Lowe, who's a researcher, has no clinical experience, but she's a researcher and certain people respect her and stuff. I don't, because she's dogmatic and obtuse. That's their niche. So listen, guys, vitamin C, whatever how you define it, has some pretty awesome clinical utility. Okay, but again, you just don't go throwing it on everybody for treating something. Okay, does it have the ability as an antioxidant to act in certain functions within the biochemistry of the body? Yes. It can also be a pro-oxidant in various contexts and terrains of the body. Okay, it all boils down to source, form, dose, frequency, and duration. Those are the 5 factors of balanced protocol. I don't talk about it in Prime, and you get this when you train with me. So what does that mean? Source, where did it come from? Form, what's its name, first and last name? Dose, how much of it? Frequency, how often you take it? Duration, how long you take it? Okay? So there's another category, which would be route of administration, which is it orally or is it through IV? So you see how things can get messed up? It's kind of like going to Subway. How many combinations of Subway sandwiches can you make? What do they have, like, I don't know, I haven't eaten there in 20 years. But anyways, it's like, they have all these different bread types, and then they got all the toppings, and you can go turkey and cheese, turkey, cheese, tomato. All those, perturbations are perturbations. I always get that backwards. Or messed up, I should say. Messes up, okay? It all depends. It all depends, guys. I wish I could just give you answers. You're going to get lots of that. And then there's always going to be individuals who, bless their heart, and they come from a good space. They go and they hang out in other groups, and they listen to freaking gurus, and they do, fun little videos and reading and stuff like that on YouTube, but they don't have any biochemical training, really, or clinical experience. But if you have experience with your friends and family and relatives and stuff like that and situations, well, that's just, that's good. That's clinical experience, technically. So maybe I have to back up on that. They don't have any clinical experience because it's technically clinical. But my ramble means this. It's just like taking a poll. Like if you take a poll of, like, for instance, to all my UK folks out there, congratulations for successfully leaving that tyrannical, socialist, tyrannical thing called the European Union. I hope a lot of you other guys in Europe follow suit. Anyways, so congratulations on that. But my point is that it comes down to, you're going to have to really understand where I'm coming from in this group. I'm going to use these videos to give what I can't do in the typing, okay? And that is more dialogue and context. I really stick to the merits of the conversation and the words of the conversation, okay? So you got to ask better questions, get better answers, okay? And I'm not here to teach everybody how to ask me questions, right? We're both given freely of our time, and that's just the way that works. But I like to teach you to critically think, because I critically think. I don't just look at level 1, the question, okay? So anyways, the upshot and bottom line, as I say, okay, is that there are individuals who have their anecdotal experience. Now, technically, all of my 25 years of clinical experience is anecdotal. So I accept anecdotal. What's the next word after that? Evidence. It's still a form of evidence. But I'm always going to be answering based upon me, Dr. Anthony G. Beck, 23 different letters at the end of his name. I just put the DR in there. But at the end of the day, I'm a person just like you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my experience. It's come from my opinion. This whole group is nothing but my pure opinion. Okay? And on that note, it's time for the disclaimer. Okay? So, as you guys watch and read through this video or watch it on YouTube, you're going to be able to read these disclaimers for what I'm sharing here. Okay? So that's kind of how that goes. All right, so everything I share with you is my pure opinion, okay? I'm highly critical of just about everything. I'm not a cynic, but I am somewhat of a skeptic. But if I don't have any experience with something or haven't done any research on it, I'm going to tell you so, okay? I tend to do that. If I miss that, call me on it. I'll pony up and I'll make good on it. Okay, if I make mistakes, it just goes to show you, there's all kinds of things that can happen. I am not perfect by any means, contrary to how I might seem to come off or posture. Okay, I don't know everything, just pretty damn close to it. So, no, listen, it's because what most people are doing in the health, wellness, fitness, mindset space, I've been doing as the only thing I do for decades. So that's the reason why I'm kind of up on these things and I watch this stuff. Remember, guys, you'll never go and listen, go back in all your emails that you've gotten and all this stuff and look and see on any of those summits, right? The autoimmune summit, the thyroid summit, the keto summit, the butt scratching, summit, the light summit, the autism summit, the biohacking, all the summits, all those people, their faces, the little bubble heads, I call them, little round faces. Look, they're all the same people. Virtually every damn one of them, okay? And then people watch those things and then they just regurgitate their content, having no context, no clinical experience or research other than reading other people's blogs, which are usually paid for by clickbait advertising, okay? So that's where that information comes from. You don't see me swimming in that. I've been in the shadows for decades, but I've been doing this since before the internet, okay? But now it's my time. Okay, so I'm coming out of the closet. Why do people hang out in the closet anyways? I never really understand that. Here's my deal. Back to what I'm saying on the vitamin C thing, and I'm going to get to zeolite here in just a minute, okay? I want you to understand that there is differences in stuff, and what happens is people will go and live vicariously through other people and say, oh, well, my brother's, sister's, uncle's, dog's, cousin did this or that. And sure, you can experiment. I'm not telling you not to N equals 1 it. I'm not, okay? What I'm saying is don't go thinking that vitamin C is benign. It's not. Remember, Balance Protocol Tenet 101, okay? If something has therapeutic benefit or mechanism of action, there is a dose response curve. Okay, there is the context of that, the individual's biological terrain status. So like for instance, in this particular thread I was talking about vitamin C, we talk about its use for situations of sepsis. Sure, but here's what can happen. This is what I was trying to say in the thread, is that some people will apply it thinking there's sepsis, but there's not necessarily sepsis. So then now you're not using it for that, you're presuming that it was, and then everything. So just every time you get done, just like for instance, like say a bee sting or an animal bite or something like that, it's not instantly septic, okay? It's not. So the bottom line is you just can't go and think vitamin C is panacea for everything. People will do that same thing when it comes to cannabis or CBD. They think it's literally the panacea, okay? Then you got that idiot like I showed you before, a one Matt Blackburn, who thinks that, there's certain things that are, even has a product, panacea, that's for everything, okay? So there's no panaceas. There's just not, okay? Not one single substance out there, except maybe hugs. They're pretty amazing. No, psychologically and stuff, there are some pretty cool things. But my point thing that can be beneficial for everybody, can help everything, My thing is this, vitamin C has its place, okay? What I was saying was, and then in my response, I added, okay, the following statement. I had said, what about a daily lipospheric dose, lipospheric vitamin C, such as Live On, okay? I remember this product launched back in the day, okay? Met the formulators and stuff like that. I can actually teach you how to make your own, okay? Liposomal vitamin C is very easy to make, okay? Those patients who I actually have the need to actually leverage it in the times that are appropriate, I teach them how to make their own because they're going to need a certain amount over a certain period of time, and it tends to be less expensive to make your own. Anyways, especially if you're a clinician and you're treating other patients. My point is this. I said, though 1,000 milligrams isn't necessarily horrible, taking daily over months of time can and may, see that? It can and may, not will and does, cause trouble biochemically for many people. Also, number two, I like to use numbers if you guys haven't noticed. Folks should stop buying into the bullshit lipospheric or liposomal monikers. They are designed to be selling hooks. That is true. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, everybody wants to make something different and have their unique selling, proposition. I get it. I do too. I'm not against it. It's just that don't go thinking if something is lipospheric or liposomal or anything like that, it is therefore more superior. Because remember, I've talked in other videos about getting caught up in absorption. Absorption is one thing, transportation is another, utilization is another, okay? Assimilation is another. So it's not just about absorbing it. Okay. So I'm saying don't buy into that. Why? Because those products are way more expensive than they need to be. You don't have to go and get liposomal vitamin C or glutathione or any other kind of fun stuff and pay literally 4 and 5 times the amount than you should, because you're not going to get any more clinical benefit of it. You're just not. How do I know that? Because I've tested it clinically on dozens, oftentimes hundreds, sometimes thousands over years, because there's repeat things. And it's just proven to be so on my particular opinion and personal experience, anecdotally. Okay, so that's how that goes. So we can go off the rails on vitamin C. I want you to understand it's highly contextual. Source, form, dose, frequency, duration. It has to do with the starting point of the biological train of the individual. It has to do with a lot of different things, up to and even including how the patient breathes, what the quality of water is and other fluids that they're drinking, what's their EMF around them, what's the harmonics and vibratory things when it comes to sound, and other things in their diet. Oh, what does that sound like? Balanced protocol Enviro. Okay, so that's the thing on vitamin C. Hopefully that buttons that up, okay, because things can get a little wonky in the conversations. I appreciate everybody's dialectic. Know this, and I say this before, I'll say it again. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I hope you do. Matter of fact, I want people to disagree with me, okay? Don't be a peckerhead or, challenge me or be rude. And definitely, like in the vitamin C thread, don't make a statement and then throw something in about me in the thing, because my patients will be very good, because this is where the love flows in Balanced Nation. But if I give you the nice little response back and you come back or whatever, I'm going to burn you down. I'm going to absolutely torch you in front of everybody. And that's the way that works. So heed the warning. And that's how it works. Then if you want to eject yourself, that's fine. It takes a lot for me to kick you out of the group, but I will respond with righteous indignation and refutation, okay? Don't come at me. Stick to the points of the thread. Facts. It's just like when I make points about a person's, it's mostly about their statement. I oftentimes say, I don't know nothing about their character. Only God really, weighs a person's heart, not me. But if behavior and things, whatever, I will speak to that behavior. I'll speak to that. Okay. And I expect people to do the same for me. All right. So that's vitamin C. Okay. I will go ahead and pause and see if there's any questions. Okay. So let's see here. Nope. Okay. Any questions on the vitamin C before I proceed to zeolite? Do 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 do. Okay, moving on. Then another question was posed in reference to an old post. So I guess, oftentimes what will happen, if you guys don't realize that a post will be made, then people will come on board and they'll go start reading back through previous stuff in the archives, and they'll see something and they'll want to make a reply on there. That's really cool. So that's good. In the marketing world, we call that engagement, is what I've learned. So that's great. I'm glad you guys are highly engaging. And so let's see here. Where was the thing? So this is a really good example of a couple things. So I'm actually really excited to go over this with you guys. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. Okay. So the question was, okay, a very good and trusted friend of our family told me to start TRS by Kosova for detoxing. Thoughts and opinions are most welcome. Well, guess what? Carlos, another wonderful gentleman with an amazing wife and family, okay? Big supporter of the Balanced Protocol movement. Whenever I hear the word for, boop, boop, such and such, my critical thinking mind starts to go off. Because we then now have to make sure we're on the same page of the thing that follows the for. Okay, so if somebody says, what about this for psoriasis? What about this for migraines? What about this for hormone balance? And what about this for detoxing? You see how that gets muddy? So usually my response, I try to read into the intent of the individual. Sometimes I get that wrong. What? Dr. Beck just admitted that he's wrong sometimes? Yeah, about 2 to 3% of the time. Okay? So, but here's what I said. Okay? The first thing was, no, it's just another bullshit product making conflated claims. Zeolite has, and notice I said zeolite. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Has application in course of clinical approach. Yes. However, guess what, guys? That is highly contextual. Again, always look for, quote, opportunity on the company website. It always means MLM, okay? MLM or multi-level marketing, always. I've never seen, when I say always, I'm waiting for one to it not be, okay? Equals bullshit claims. They have to. Here's why. Because every single multi-level marketing company, like for instance, okay, my dad was one of the first guys way back in the day in the 60s, okay, and he was like a double diamond distributor for Amway, okay? We grew up on our clothes smelling like, SA8 or what was it, SA8? I think that's what it is. If my big sister's watching this, she can tell me. Anyways, so I've messed with all that kind of fun stuff back in the day. Shackley and, Quick Star and prepaid legal, okay? All that fun stuff. This is back when I didn't know any better, okay? This is, early 90s. So here's my point. The thing is that they rely by the virtue of their company and the platform and the mechanism to get people who aren't clinicians to pimp the product. So they're always going to be a byproduct of the propaganda of the company who's originating the narrative, okay? And then, of course, if you get lured in, it's always about the opportunity, not the opportunity to transform lives, not the opportunity, okay, to resolve chronic disease, not the opportunity, okay, to do anything like that. It's always the opportunity to what? Make the mother flipping money, as they say on South Park, okay? To make the money. We all want to make the money. I make a lot of money, okay? I like making a lot of money. That's why I do a lot of pro bono, okay? Philanthropy. But here's the deal. When these companies want to give people the opportunity, it's to make residual income. And you probably heard the pitch, right? Well, what if you can make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month? What would that do for your family? Well, a lot. Like buy Balance Protocol and Viro. Okay? So the cool thing is I get it. So I just want to be perfectly clear that we also have to take into consideration the basis of the individuals. Financial involvement to said product or company. Whenever we lecture, and I've lectured lots in front of tens of thousands of doctors from around the world at various medical conferences, okay? Whenever we speak, we have to give a disclosure statement. We have to state if there's any financial conflicts of interest of anything that we're talking about or actually representing it, depending on who you're in at all. You got to say, hey, you work for this company or that company. I've always had to, do certain disclosures, right? Because I own a nutraceutical company. So anyways, you got to give disclosures. Okay, so this is why I'm going to usually ask questions about the person who is asking me about a product, okay? So then the conversation was, and I love the stories, guys. I really do want you to understand that. Please tell your stories, okay? This is really cool. This is how we can grow. So people talk about recovering vaccine-injured children and things like that and so forth and so on. Okay, so I don't doubt that people have had benefit with products that I call or refer to as bullshit. Here's one of the reasons why, okay? So if we can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down here to Cesar Sanchez's questions, which Cesar, thanks for being respectful and pushing to know more information, and I'm going to finally give you the last answer tonight on this video, okay? So I understand all this stuff, okay? So I also use the product with clients whom some have amalgam fillings. I get all that. After using TRS for a while now, they all have improved and their symptoms are pretty much gone, okay? I would like to know what makes you think the product is bullshit. That is the term I use. So let's talk about that here in just a second. Remember what I said, okay? One more time up here. This is what I said. Called it bullshit. So why do I call it bullshit? Okay, you agree? He agrees with other views, like LifeVantage, which I believe is a scam. Now this is important. When I think something is a scam, I'll use the word scam. If I don't think it's a scam, I won't use the term scam. If I think something's bullshit, I'll call it bullshit. If I think it's conflated, misdirected, that kind of stuff, I'll say that. So always watch my choice of words. That's muy importante. Okay? That'd be very important. Okay? That's 2 Spanish words tonight. Okay. So I've also seen hundreds of positive reviews about the supplement, helping turn the vaccine injured. Okay? Well, wonderful. I love testimonials. I've been really crappy my entire career of asking for them because most people don't want to give them because they don't want to put their face out or their name or whatever. But if any of you guys want to give me any testimonials for Balanced Protocol, Enviro, or working with me as a patient, please feel free to do so. You've been asked. No, so testimonials are great, but guess what? A lot of them are also bought and paid for, okay? So what I'm going to do just for kicks and grins, I want to show you guys something here real quick, okay? If you didn't know, there's a little company out there called Fiverr. That's Fiverr, okay? So basically what is this? A whole bunch of people who will do stuff for cheap, okay? So if you don't know about it, it's very useful. Like for instance, if you ever want somebody to make a video of themselves sitting in a kiddie pool and squirting the name of your best buddy from college's name on their big fat obese chest with Hershey's syrup for $5, you can go to Fiverr. Not that I've ever done that. Okay, so for $5, people will do a lot of stuff. So let's take a look here at Fiverr and see what people will do. Let's go. Testimonial. Okay. Oh, come on. Let's see here. Did I even spell testimonial right? Let me see if I can pull this up. I have a firewall stuff. It's kind of big. Let's go. Let's see. Really Fiverr? Maybe they're making, maybe they want me to log in. Export services. Hold on just a second. Technical difficulties. I wonder if they took that off. I wonder if they did. You know what's funny? I think they did, and I didn't even look. What? Because so many people were buying fake testimonials on Fiverr. It's like an Etsy or Etsy. Come on, is that what it is? That's so funny. That's exactly what it is. Okay, well, this is unscripted, guys. So guess what? That's exactly what happened. All right, so anyways, people used to go, and listen, a lot of these marketing companies out there and these digital marketers in their online classes and some of these summits that you go and you share ideas on marketings from your mind, they teach people to make decisions of that might be a little unscrupulous. You used to be able to go to Fiverr and for $5 get a testimonial. True statement. Okay, so I can't show you that. No fun there. Let me see here. I'm going to go. Let me do this. Wow, let's see here. Let's see. Wow, that's crazy. That's what it was. Okay, guys. So, anywho, all right. See, didn't know that was the case. But so testimonials is a good thing. They're great. I like them too. I want you guys to give me testimonials as well. But again, when a MLM company, okay, has hundreds of testimonials. Sorry, I get a little wonky on that, okay? But so here was the thing. I wanted to know a couple of things. Was it the only product and the only strategy applied is what I asked. Are you a distributor? And do you collect any objective data to quantify any of the effects experienced? Okay, I'm a scientist, okay? I use the scientific method. So the first thing is a product comes across my desk and I go, does this detox? Well, what does detox mean? Right? So I got to form a hypothesis, right? And then I have to gather data, right? So, and you got to experiment, gather data, assess the data. Then the ultimate thing is give it to other people to do and see if they come up with the same results. Anyways, there's a lot of things that you can do that will produce a certain benefit by virtue of the fact that you're also now aware. You're like, holy crap, I was just diagnosed with such and such. Now I'm going to get my act together. And I'm going to start taking this. But then I'm also going to watch how I eat. I'm going to be clean and I'm going to sleep more and I'm going to get grounded. And then, but then we go, oh my God. Like in this particular case, it was the TRS. It was the zeolite, okay? Well, maybe it was just your body. Now remember, your body still has to do most of the work with any substance out there. Don't give the substance all the credit. Give the divinely created essence of being, that which is you, credit for being able to do it with said substance possibly, okay? Then the other thing is you got to test the data, okay? You got to figure out where the person started from. If someone gets a vaccine, not a fan, across the board. But the thing is, and then has an injury, the vaccine is a part of the picture, but you can't blame the awful, nasty, gruesome vaccine only. You have to also put blame to the environment in which the person is in, okay? Because you can get a vaccine, lots of people do, and not have an adverse reaction. Okay? Doesn't mean it's safe and effective because the absence of that. Anyways, don't get me started. But the point is that you got to take in context some other things. Okay? Their environment, their lifestyle, their mindset, and their nutrition. There's other factors. Okay? So here's the thing. So we went on to show some of these other posts, right? Now notice what I noticed, that they're from the TRS detox people. Well, of course they're going to make all these claims. Okay? For years, I had all these symptoms. Headaches and migraines, joint pain, brain fog, insomnia, mood swings, depression, tried to kill myself, decline in memory, massive weight gain, no change, kept going to the doctor, tested me for different things, and wow, okay. This one little bottle just so happened to be the whammy jammy for all of those. And you know what? I've seen that same thing for, a methylfolate product. I've seen that same thing from a gut restore product. I've seen that same thing from hemp protein. I've seen that same story from CBD. You see where I'm going with all of that? So, one of the things is that I wanted to make sure that we're clear that I said, okay, I never issue opinion in the absence of personal research or clinical thing. I will tell you guys if I don't know something, okay? But these questions that I asked are very important to understand, okay? I want to know and ask more questions before I give my stuff, okay? I know zeolite very well, and I'm beyond familiar with its benefits and detriments. And matter of fact, so the last question, Caesar, if you're watching, brother, great smile, by the way, on that picture. Look at that. Handsome devil. I understand your point here with the 3 questions. Can you elaborate more on how this product is actually a scam? Now, see this, guys? I never said that. I never said this product was a scam. So see, first of all, see how that's challenging for me? It's kind of like, so when did you stop beating your wife, Anthony? Well, you presuppose I beat my wife. I've never beat my wife. Okay? Not unless she deserved it. I'm kidding. Oh, easy. So my point is, I didn't call it a scam. Again, if I call something a scam, I mean a scam, and then I'll justify that, okay? If I call it bullshit, so let me insert, can you elaborate more on how this product is actually bullshit? Why, yes, I can, Caesar, and I'm getting ready to show you, okay? So yes, he's selling the thing. So your reviews. Okay, so there are hundreds of vaccine injured cases that got better after they started with whatever TRS. I'm going to tell you what this is. People aren't distributors. Are they all subjective? Okay. Yes, they are. They're all subjective. And testimonies are subjective by default. Okay. Unless you show me a before and after of said chemical, molecule, or compound that you were applying this TRS product to, level, do it, dose it, source, form, dose, frequency, duration, and then show me the labs afterwards. Okay? Just show me. Okay? You won't see that. Okay? You're just not going to. Okay? Now, the question was, can you share on here your clinical study on this product and what was study based on? I would like to take a look at it since I'm willing to reevaluate my views on TRS. Well, fantastic. I'm glad you are. Okay? Because, now here's the thing. Do I have a compiled database of previous patient labs? Yes, but I'm not going to take the time to go searching through memorizing or figuring out, trying to recall decades of what patient this applied to. When I say tens of thousands, I mean it. Okay, I've been around a long time. Okay, it's not hard to understand that. So the bottom line here is I don't publish clinical studies on my patients. Everything I do is based upon what I've seen with patients. Okay. I never started doing this with the knowledge of actually being on camera in front of a doggone group on some platform called Facebook when I first started doing this stuff. You got to remember, when I first started doing labs and stuff, I was excited. Okay? Matter of fact, let me show you guys something. I thought this was pretty funny. So I was flipping through here the other day. See my old Indian thing here. And this is a perfect example. Sorry, a little sidebar. Okay? I remember when jump drives came out. And then we switched over to these little things, these SD cards. Okay? Look at this amazing high capacity cutting edge. Okay? Let me see if everybody has. We see what that says? 128 megs. Woo! Man, I remember going, wow, 128 megabytes that I can store patient data on. Remember, I was storing patient data before these even came out, okay? Not so far back as the big floppies, but the little floppies and the zip drives. Okay, so anyways, I found this the other day. I was going through my thing. I remember it. All right, so 128 megabytes. I have so much data in patient files, it'll choke a horse, okay? So the bottom line here is that I'm not going to go sorting through that stuff for you guys. But what I will show you is some database stuff that I share with clinicians who train with me, okay? But first of all, let's look at this product, okay? So TRS Detox, here's the product in question, okay? See this up here at the top? It says become a distributor. That's how you know, okay? That's how you know. That's also known as opportunity. Safely detox from heavy metals and toxins with TRS Nano Zeolite. Kosova Advanced TRS is the most effective form of zeolite, on the market. Now, this is pretty interesting because this is a form of, we call it Clino zeolite, but there's all kinds of different zeolites out there on the market. Okay, and in nature. So when people say something about zeolites, I have to say, well, hold on a second. What kind of zeolites are you referring to? Okay, are you referring to this one? This one, this one, this one, this one? There's lots of different zeolites. They all have different chemical compositions, methods of action, pros and cons. Okay, some of them are very similar to asbestos and can actually cause great harm to people. So you just can't go ask me a question without context of what's zeolite. Okay, but that didn't happen here. We're talking about this product. Now, what I want you to look here real quick is look at something. Okay, this is funny. Watt, W-A-T. This is what makes Advanced TRS unique. Crosses effortlessly the blood-brain barrier. Okay, that is not necessarily true. Excretes aluminum, lead, mercury, mold, glyphosate, okay, spelled wrong, nanoplastics, histamines, and more. Well, guess what? That ain't how it works, folks, okay? They're zeolites in general, okay? If we're talking about the clinotoptophyllite, okay, the clino, zeolite, much less natural versus synthetic, which I'm going to tell you about here in just a second. There's a difference. You can't just make that claim because some things are not as ionic as others. You can't just go and say that it touches all that stuff. It doesn't work like that. It can't work like that, okay? Because if it works on the metals, it's not necessarily going to work the same as other things, okay? Maybe glyphosate because of the molecules and the hydroxyl things on it, but it's conjectural, okay? But histamines and more. So it just does everything. That's the first bullshit of why I think it's bullshit, Caesar. That's the first thing, okay? Next thing is this, okay? It is 100% pure lab grown. Okay? That's the big difference. Most people don't know that there's a difference between lab grown, created through chemical compounds, different ground up rock powders put under certain conditions and pHs to make these constructs of aluminum and silicone and calcium and sodium. Okay? It's not all the same as it's found in nature. When you start working with a compound, you got to think about its mechanical composition and effect, its electrochemical, which is a little different than its ionic. There's a lot of different things, okay? So let's look at this product further, okay? So read more. You click here, and then it starts talking about what it is, okay? What is zeolite? And it gets into all that. Why choose advanced zeolite? Okay, that just means they make it in the lab and they grind it up into a powder and make it nano. It's like 0.9 millimeters. So anyways, how does it work? He gives this whole thing. See, so 10 plus toxic metals safely removed from the body. You can't say this. Listen. Okay, go do and show me some bone scans for lead, and you show me how this little bottle, this little 1 ounce bottle that costs $95 is going to do that. And guess what? I've said this in other videos. If you don't understand about balance protocols tenets, and you sit there and you go back to, you got to go back to Prime and go understand about detoxing first. Huge mistake, and things can go dynamically awry when you do that, okay? But then, of course, they give these little infographics. They pay some graphic artist to make this kind of crap, and it lends credence to it and all that kind of fun stuff. But what they don't have in here is any before and after shows of any of that stuff, okay? So here's the deal. What I want you to do is you go here to shop, okay? And I want you to look here. Now in euros, it's $74.95, okay? Then I also look at what are the other things that they do, okay? So then now we got this water filtering thing they're getting into, which is actually a pretty decent thing if you don't have anything else. And then now gemstones for alkaline water filter accessories. So see, that's bullshit. Okay, this is another bullshit flag for me, okay? U.S. customers, you have to go here. Again, same kind of stuff, so forth and so on. And, you have to realize, when I look through all these things and the things that they state, there's lots of bullshit in there, okay? And, oh my gosh, the pop-ups. Jesus, the pop-ups. Okay, so in the U.S., just want to show you something, okay? $95 for this little thing, okay? Now, what it doesn't give is other pictures of the label, okay? And how many doses are in there in this little spray that you spray in your mouth. Okay, now, the scientific literature on various zeolites, I think, is worthy of taking a look at, okay? So, what I did was I went to my archive, pulled up a couple things, okay? First of all, okay, we're going to go to, bam, okay? There is, see back in the 90s when all that kind of started, okay? I started in 95, 96. But all right, so there are certain nomenclatures and different things when it comes to the acknowledgement of what different zeolites are, okay? There's a bunch of different compounds as zeolites. This company doesn't state precisely which molecules or ions are in there, nor the saturation. They just talk about the size. Doesn't tell you how much, okay? That's like saying, hey, I got a coin that's this size. Well, is it a dime or is it a penny? They're both about the same size. So more context, okay? There's 82 accepted zeolite mineral species, okay? And then 3 of doubtful status. So there's a bunch is the take home here, okay? So this is some of that's in French, it's English and French. But so let me do this. What I did is I want to pull up a study, okay? So this is back in 2014, possible uses of natural zeolites in animal production and environment protection, okay? Because one of the things that medicine tends to do is try things on animals, and we look in animal husbandry and see what it does in chickens and cows and mice and all kinds of fun stuff to see what certain things do, okay? So this was a particular study, and it's going to make the big point of why I call bullshit, Caesar, okay? So here's what it did. They took some natural zeolites containing micro and macro elements such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, and copper, okay? And what they do is they carried it out on 20,000 one-day-old chicks, okay? Now, here's what I wanted to show you, okay? What you want to do when you go look at a study is get into something that we look at called material and methods, okay? So, as you can see here down in this first paragraph, it says, each group contained 10,000 chickens. The experimental group was given feed with an additional 5% zeolite. Okay, 5%. That's a lot of GD zeolite. In order to test these things, you have to have enough in there, okay? That's my whole part of the TRS bullshit. The biggest bullshit of all is that little damn bottle is not enough. It's not enough. Maybe if you shot the whole thing, okay? So any of you, I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I used to raise ducks and chickens. Lumberton, North Carolina, single wide trailer in Robinson County, okay? One time from the feed store, brought back a whole bunch of chicks, and they were all roosters. Nothing but cocks running around. I shot them all. We didn't eat them because they were tough. But anyways, they wake me up in the morning. So my point is this. They eat a lot, okay? About 4 ounces a day per chicken, okay? That works out to be about a pound, pound and a half a week. Why? Because you gotta go and buy enough to feed them. Okay, so that's 113 to 680 grams, okay, of feed, okay? So if you just kind of do the math on that, right? So 4 ounces is about 113. I calculated it. 380 for a pound and a half, okay? So take for a second and go 5% of that. So we're talking about 5 to 30 grams of zeolite. That whole damn bottle ain't even got that amount in it. And this is for little chickens. See where I'm at? Source, form, dose, frequency, and duration. That is either the poison or the medicine. See where I'm going with that? Okay? So, if you get into studies, you'll see that the vast majority, and there's lots of them. I just kind of did search my Dropbox and pulled a few up. There's a lot of different compounds in here, okay? Much of which are oxides, okay? Silicon oxide, aluminum oxide, iron superoxide, iron oxide, titanium oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, and so forth. So in other words, the composition. Why is that? Because that oxide is the chemical constituency that has an affinity for certain metals, okay? I'm not going to get into the biochemical stuff and the electrochemistry of things, okay? So you'll also see that there's things like fluorine, arsenic, antimony, and so forth, okay? And water, look at that. Why is that? Because the electrochemistry of zeolite has an affinity for certain water. So anyways, so here's my deal, okay? I call bullshit on the product because of that little damn bottle is not enough. You got to do more, okay? So you can say something is good, dare I say, for something or does something, but that doesn't establish the method or the approach. Does that make sense? Let that stick in your brain for just a little bit, guys. You have to do this. It's like saying vitamin C is good for this. Well, what dose? Glutathione for this. Vitamin E for this. Well, which vitamin E? Which vitamin C? Okay? So it's the first and the last name of the compound. It's the source of the compound. It's the dose of the compound. It's how often you take the compound and how long you take the compound. It's the same thing in medications, okay? Let's talk about a big bad fluoroquinone known as ciprofloxacin. If I give somebody 10 milligrams of ciprofloxacin one time, that's not going to do a damn thing for a superbug. 100 milligrams, still not. 250, now we're getting somewhere. 500, now we're getting somewhere. But that, just taking it one time a day for several days, not going to be the same effect as if you take it BID, TID for X amount of days. So we do this when it comes to medication. We should do it with nutraceuticals. We should do it with products that we're talking about. And before you get started, if you guys want to understand where I come from and why I call bullshit on 98% of the stuff that you guys ask me about, is because I apply this method. I'm teaching you the method. I challenge you to do the method. I challenge you to learn to critically think and go get some Q square, M square. Learn that, live it. Balanced protocol is the method and the framework that will save you tens of thousands of dollars, decades of research, and decades of heartache trying a bunch of stuff from MLM companies, neighbors, aunties, school members, and everything like that who are trying to make residual income, and they come up with a great backstory. This is what the bloggers do. This is what the biohackers do. It's what all these fruit bags do, okay? And then they try to go lend credibility to themselves by going and take some $2,000 course called Functional Diagnostic Nutrition like Evan Brand does. I got a whole video on him for you guys because one of you guys asked me about it. That's coming. Stay tuned for that one. You know, or all these other people. And then they go on the summits and then they do the same tour with this big old cabal and ancestral group that everybody's on everybody's podcast and everybody goes to their little different things in Paleo FX and Biohackers Conference and all this other kind of fun stuff. And they'll just keep lubricating each other across the thing. And then they become this group think and stuff. And then whenever a product rolls out, like, like that digestive product, called Restore, and they got everybody taking it, and everybody talked about it, and you go on all the tours and stuff, and everybody gets on board with that, and then it fades out. Same thing when it comes to mushroom coffee. Same thing when it comes to this TRS thing. Same thing when it comes to Gundry's, Lectin Shield, and literally everything, guys. Now listen, I told you guys I have a coffee launching this year. Well, 2 of them. Okay, so am I going to pimp it out to you guys and ask you to buy it? Sure. But I swear, by all things holy, I will never tell you anything that is dishonest, conflated, or misrepresented. I'm going to give it to you straight. Guess what? Even the coffee that I'm coming out is contraindicated for some people. Who the hell tells people that? Yeah, that's right. There'll be some of you that you should learn, don't drink my coffee. Ain't that something? But in another thread in the group, somebody asked me about the coffee. But then again, it's like coffee is just like zeolite. It's just like inflammation. It's just like, redheads. Okay, they're not all the same. You see where I'm going with that kind of fun stuff? So that's where I'm coming at, all right? You'll get pure authenticity with me, straight up honesty, integrity, and love for Balance Nation, because I will never do the stuff that you guys see out there. I sell knowledge, okay? So, like when people ask me questions that I cover in Balance Protocol and Viro, forgive me, guys, but I'm going to send you there, okay? That's what I'm going to say. If you're going to ask me about a meter or if this water filter is good, I'm going to say I cover it in the module. Why? Because I'm saving me and everybody else all that pain in the butt of having to answer those questions. Okay, if it's not covered in there, that's it. All right, so let's go to the tail of the tape and answer some questions so I can wrap up and go have me a glass of wine with my lovey and get my snuggle on tonight. That's right. I'm not making babies anymore, though. I'm out. I got plenty of princesses. All right, so let's see here. Hi, Kim. Yes, thank you. That's another, but look at that smile. It's just so damn pretty. Okay. Steve. Whoa, let's see here. Oh, I pushed, click out of that. Kablank. Okay. So my feed's going good. When you know, you know. Nothing replaces experience. This is true, Steve. This is true. Dr. Wasserman. Hey, man, post something in the group and let them know how Balance Protocol gave you a red pill, okay? PT, I'll answer that question in Module 4 of Balance Protocol and Viro. Check it out. Hey, Linda. Good evening. She's another sweetheart, man. Oh, my goodness. There's so many of you guys that are cool in here. Another sweetheart. If you guys ever want to feel some love, you need to talk to this guy. Tone Flow Real. Amazing. And Derek, super excited for 2.0. Gotcha, man. Good. I appreciate it. Elijah, another mad respect to my devil dog, my fellow caller outer of things, and get your body's function and your structural shit right. Okay. Plus he's handsome. Look at that. So you guys are just some pretty people. Okay. I'll have to see my last client. Cool. Sean, awesome, man. Keep the faith, baby. Rock and roll. All right. Can you please help? Okay, so Linda asked me if you run into problems upgrading 2.0 tonight. Can you please help me tomorrow? Yes, listen, guys, don't worry about it. Okay, so in parting, tonight's the night. Get in on Balance Protocol and Viro 2.0, $800 discount. Remember when I started this at the first of the year? Remember January 1st. I told everybody, for the first month, I'm going to give it to everybody in the nation for $800 off. Okay? For those of my patients who paid more than that in the past, I don't apologize. It's going back to the regular price, so you'll feel better. But anyways, yes, if you guys have any problems with that, that's it. If anybody has any troubles or anything, I don't do this bait and switch stuff or get caught up in the little things. The minutia. I love that word. Don't get caught up in the minutia. I wonder if I should add that to the BP vernacular. I don't even know how to spell it. Minutia. Anyways, yes, if you have any troubles or technical issues like trying to purchase the product because you live in Turkey, sorry, I'll get you hooked up. Don't worry about that. There's none of that kind of fun stuff. All right, guys, got any last questions? You got 30 seconds to post them. Post them now. Speaking of coffee, you ever had Postum? Postum, Mormon coffee? It's roasted wheat and barley and stuff like that. Postum's actually pretty tasty as a coffee alternative. Okay, Linda, we'll get you transferred over. I gave that to my IT department. I was wondering if that's what you were asking about. Don't worry, we'll get you transferred over. No big deal. So, got any questions? Post them. Okay, it's not like Cafe Du Monde's chicory coffee. No. PNW wine. Actually, no, Caroline, it's not. But listen, Pacific Northwest wine, I am in love because I don't drink no damn California wine. They can take their glyphosate spray and shove it. But man, because of being inspired by Dr. Shearer, one of my protege, I'm in love with wine from her area. It's crazy. But tonight, I took a little schmeck before I came over, kind of calm the things. Probably why I got little red teeth. I got Weston A. Price would be jealous teeth, right? And you know what? I don't eat like that. And I eat lemons, and I drink a bunch of sody pop. Anyways, it's an actual, it's from South Africa. It's a Pinotage from South Africa. It's amazing. Let's see here. So BP affiliate codes ready. Yes, they are. So guess what? I was going to, Tone, I love you, Flow Real. For real. I wanted to go ahead and put it to the regular price and do that. So here this week, after the weekend, I will come out with a video first of next week, and I'll let everybody know about the affiliate program. Okay. So again, since you're spilling the beans, making me spill the beans, I'm not being duplicitous. Remember, I'm a capitalist Christian constitutionalist. Okay. So capitalism, I want people to make money. You should, products that are good and that you've tried and you've experienced and you've experimented with, you should recommend to people. So everybody who is, a purchaser of Balance Protocol in Viro, you can sign up as an affiliate and offer the program to those you love, just like you were selling TRS or SA8 laundry powder or doTERRA. Okay, you can get access to the program, and literally in about 4 or 5 referrals, you can get all your money back for what you paid. What? That's right, I'm paying fat for you guys to make your money back on the program. Why? Because I'm a pimp of knowledge. That's what I want to do. Okay, so that's all coming forthwith. All right, guys, I'm at the hour mark and I'm out. Time for some vino again. Brandon asked me, oh, you snuck it in at the last minute. Because you're such an awesome dude, I'm asking. Okay, any situations in which oral IV is contraindicated? Nope. Never found one. No situations where oral IV is contraindicated. Oral IV, you can drink it, you can stick up your nose, you can drop it in your eyes, you can put it in your ears. But again, same thing. Fantastic product. I invented it, okay? I actually grow the electrolytes under various energetics to put into that. But it's not a panacea. A lot of people take my product and go, you know what? I didn't feel nothing. Well, it's not supposed to be like a 5-hour energy or anything like that. And to experience oral IV, you really should take it daily for 2 to 4 weeks and then not, and then feel how you feel the difference or performance and things like that. If it's worth the cost, great. If not, wonderful. I'm not going to conflate the deals with it, okay? So, you know, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. That's it. And if you don't like it, ask for your money back. And the company will give it back to you 100%. That's how it works. That's how it goes. Try doing that with some of these opportunity companies. You will be SOL. And that ain't short for the sun. All right, guys. Love you, Balance Nation. As always, I'm going to keep coming at you guys with my opinions and ask away. I love and respect you all. And I can't wait to keep making this year go phenomenally. Okay? And it's up to you guys to spread the movement, let everybody know, bring them over here, invite them into the group, and help them to learn to live life in balance. See you guys.